But there's been some good podcasty stuff this week. Some amazing, and I can't go into it too much. I tried to try and find the multimedia for it, and I can't. It's just not that widely accessible, so I'm going to have to narrate some of it.
Okay.
But some amazing podcast stuff happened this week.
Okay.
There's a podcast called Your Mom's House, American for Mum.
Yes.
Your Mum's House. Tom Segura and Christina Pajitsky, both brilliant comedians.
Yeah.
And they do an amazing podcast. Not amazing. If you like our podcast, you'll probably like theirs. Yeah. Theirs is amazing. It doesn't mean that ours is amazing.
Yeah.
But we like this kind of format of doing stuff. And it's all kind of just silly jokes, silly references, and that kind of thing. One of the things they've been doing for a while is finding, with their community of listeners, crazy people in the world. Just giving out crazy advice. So you've got like, I found this guy on... It's the same if you find we would find YouTube clips that would be funny. We'd send them to each other. It's the same, but people using social media, that's their kind of medium now.
Yeah. They
find somebody who's like, this guy's giving out advice that if you take 12 Benadryl, you become like incredibly virile. But it's like, it's the new Viagra. And you send him a video and he's fucking doing NOS out of a balloon. Just wired out of his mind. It's been like, take 10 or 12 Benadryl. And smoke some weed, and you'll fuck for hours. It's just like those kind of crazy people, right? They find all this stuff. It's just fun. They do it for sound bites and everything. A while ago, they found somebody called Robert Paul Champagne.
Okay.
Who had an Instagram video of him topless with a handlebar moustache, American guy, just saying to Instagram world, along the lines of, if you're a black guy who fucks and likes to fuck good, or you're a thug, or you've just come out of prison and you want somebody and you're looking for a place to live, if you want a lease and a key, I live at, gives out his address, come round, piss on me, beat me, try it out. I'm home here right now. Just putting that out into the world.
Yeah.
Just an insane guy. Like, that guy's crazy. And then the podcast became like just subtle jokes about, do you think he's gotten anyone's come round in a while? Because he's released another video and it's in a similar vein that is following his story. They got an amazing audience, and they're just they found the guy's Instagram page, and so the audience started talking with him. Then the podcast started talking with him, and then they released earlier this week the documentary they made about him.
Jesus.
Where they sent one of their producers, who's a brilliant comedian, Josh Potter, out to go interview him. Just like a half an hour documentary of just like, we just wanted to get more into the mind of this man. And just, it's done so fucking beautifully. And you go like that. This didn't exist in the world.
Yeah.
This guy was shouting into the void.
Yeah.
These people were just making a podcast. And then suddenly there's this incredible comedy train that's happening.
Yeah.
And it's just beautiful because, he's out of his mind, but he's a good guy. He's obviously got a good soul. He's quite happy, but he's like telling these wildly incredible stories about like how he learnt to love drinking his own piss, and he's naked. He answers the door just like with a camel sole or like a thin tank top, no bottoms, just completely naked. Sat down chatting to him. There's a film in the background of some guy. There's Murder, She Wrote in the background where some guy's just strangling people while they're having this conversation. And Josh Potter's he does such a great job of interviewing him, because it's interviewing it in the way that we would, in the terms of like, we're having a laugh. And there's one point, right, where Robert Paul Champagne says that, he had sex with Freddie Mercury. And like goes about all this, he talks about the brief story about it and that, and Josh just goes, Freddie Mercury, the lead singer of Queen? Wow, that's amazing. I mean, was that before he unfortunately got infected with the AIDS virus, or did you not really just go like, there's nobody would have phrased that question as perfectly, because it's perfectly innocent. But it conveys all the comedy in the ridiculousness of the situation, whilst being respectful. So just doing absolutely insane, crazy stuff and talking and being part of the community, and that was just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And then that was just great. And that when people talk about podcasts, I'm just like comedians behind closed doors is kind of my idea of a podcast. That's my experience of podcasts. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then just doing stuff, creating content with it, doing stuff in your spare time. And then when I hear people doing like, I do a paint review season where I just review different Dulux colours and how they work in different wooden houses. I'd be like, okay, no, that's good, but that feels like a different thing to me.
Yeah.
And that was just like, this is podcasting. This is what podcasting really is.
Yeah.
It's just talking random shit, making jokes, and then going out and doing stupid shit. Whilst being respectful, but it's me with the insane things of life. That and Bill Burr started. He released a live MM podcast. I
saw a clip of it. I haven't. Is he released the full thing?
Yeah, they released the full thing. It was recorded like a year ago.
Right.
But you just go like this from the clip. You just go, this is such a good idea.
Because I saw the clip of him lying down on the couch and reading emails, and that was just so.
It's
good.
just such a great idea.
Because it's where his podcast is weird. It's one of those things that I've always listened to and been like, that's really funny. Do other people find that really funny? Because there's no like laughter, and he doesn't do it with anyone, so you don't get their reaction or anything like that.
Yeah.
So like to hear him just doing the same shit he's always doing, and like just massive amounts of laughter from the audience.
It's giving him more things to riff off.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just Bill Burr's like our favourite comedian. So it's just like personal probably hero. So it's just like seeing him in more of these things, just like yes, just brilliant. And then that's the thing where I got excited. It'd be like that's what I like about podcasting. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that I would like.
Yeah.
I can social media about. And that's what it was. Was like, I can actually, that's something that I want to retweet because I want more people to know about this.
Yeah.
I'm not retweeting it because, our feed is just us at the moment and we need to get some, if someone looks at our Twitter page and it's just us, then it's going to look, it's that corporate-y shit I can't do.
Yeah.
It's like, no, if I'm just actually genuinely doing stuff, it's like, yes, brilliant, that works. To the point, I was nice to someone. I don't know how you could, I don't know if you can even see
bastard.
this. Yeah, there was this guy. And he's just someone that through these, through the corporate social media stuff, I think he just ended up being on my Twitter on this Pulling Teeth podcast account. Followed him, as in like, are you a comedy? Are you a podcast and want to connect with other podcasters? You do those every now and then to try and find new podcasts. And don't even know him. I haven't seen much of his stuff. But he just said, I saw a post when I was doing all this stuff, and it was like, yeah, I'm kind of thinking about stopping all this comedy stuff. It's a chore, feels bad, and I'm just kind of getting sick of it. I just came, no, mate. It's natural to to lose a lot of energy when you put in your entire self into a passion project.
Yeah.
But don't waste energy on chores. Drop the things you don't want to do and start putting energy in what you do want to do. Even Hannibal Lecter didn't waste energy on chores. And it was just, I felt like this is weird, nice thing that I'm doing. But it's like, this came from the high of, cool podcasting, cool social media stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, he wasn't expecting a response. It's just like, thanks.
Yeah.
You know what? You're probably right. It's like I was just high off of Robert Paul Champagne documentary.
Yeah, I can really change the world.
Well, just that, and I think there's a whole thing about. I don't like social media anyway, but the amount of people who tweet every day and get no response, like every tweet they have is just nothing.
All the time.
And it's not that every tweet you should only tweet if you're getting a response. It's just like, what are you? If that drains you, then don't do it.
Yeah.
Just put your energy into something else. And so, like deep down, I'm a positive person, but it needs something to inspire me to get out of it. I was just weirded out that I did some social media stuff. Yeah, I even checked Instagram, stupid people commented on your video. There's stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's people angry about mermaids.
Oh, I know. That's weird, isn't it?
I didn't understand. I made a post, and that. If you want to see how shit I am at social media, I wrote a post trying to address that, and it just seemed forced and unnatural. It was just like, there's a lot of people who are angry about people who are angry about mermaids.
Yeah.
Punch some cheese. Yeah. Until it becomes quiche or something like that.
Yeah.
It was just like, this is a terrible post. But that's what that was addressing.
Yeah.
Was I don't care if you're angry, and it's because the Little Mermaid's being made into a real time
film. And she's now black or something.
Yeah,
which
whatever.
Changes nothing about the character, so why does it matter?
Well, that's the thing. And then you go, okay, the people who are angry about that, I can kind of go, hey, you're fucking morons. Go for it. If you're venting about that, fine. But people who are angry about idiots being angry, that's the part that I don't get. That's I get it, because like we've already said we're probably gonna get one on the podcast. Like that's exactly what was happening. Was there was people having a discussion that we hate, and then we're like, well, let's invite him on and tell him to. We're that person, right? Yeah. But no, but so I can understand it, but you got to discourage it. It's be like, no, don't be angry that stupid people are angry.
Yeah,
because that doesn't. It's not. It's going to circle. It's going to tornado, and you're just going to be angry and you're going to be confused with yourself.
Yeah.
So it's me trying to address that.
Yeah.
That was my rant.
Oh, good.
Robert Paul Champagne. Just his journey. Even the document, it's just done so brilliantly.
Yeah.
It's just done so brilliantly. And yeah, it's the whole thing of it didn't exist and now it exists.
Yeah.
Nobody else could have done this.
That's always
with the way that they did it. With the genuine interest. I mean, they did merchandise because he became a big community icon for the podcast. That's Robert Paul Champagne. People are writing comments, quoting him all the time. So they made merchandise. Money they made from the merchandise, they gave to him.
Oh, that's cool.
But look, there you go. Here's some of our, some more of our merchandise. Just thanks for being a good sport. About this whole thing.
Yeah.
You go like, that's a good.
That's really
positive.
Cool. Yeah.
Positive. You've put something good out into the world.
Yeah.
And while yes, it is a joke, and some people may be laughing at his expense, it's not vindictive.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's the guy's crazy. He knows he's crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone's crazy. Yeah. Everybody's crazy. So it's all fine.
Yeah. No, I think that's my favourite thing of like taking something that's like gone from like passing conversation to actually being a full ball thing. It's why it's part of why we like listen to Bill Burr so much, is because there's so many snippets that you hear on a podcast that you hear like 2 years later in a fully formed bit. I mean, like, I remember when that was just a fleeting nothing, just a passing comment that he made, and now it's like just this fucking vehicle of laughter.
But it's also, I think we've always loved
but Tusk
the idea
as well, like the Kevin Smith thing, where it's like this is a stupid article that these guys read, and now it's a film because they laughed about it so much. Like,
but I think we really like the idea of anything is possible. So having an idea and then it growing into something else. Random example. After I finished uni, I think I came back and you and a friend had a bit going together of Sean Bean. Being Sean Bean's on
Connery.
toast.
Oh yeah, Bean on toast.
Sean Bean's on toast, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it was just the stupid Sean Bean bit of doing the reference between each other.
Yeah.
You just go like, what we love is having that idea, thinking about it for a while, and then a year later, Sean Bean's just coming round because he's celebrating the rap party from the Sean Bean's on toast. Right? Well, it becomes a news piece, and then it just grows something that shouldn't exist in the world, because that's not how the world works, but because that's how our mind works. You go like, oh yeah, no, this is great. Just podcasts aside, I can't think of any media outlet that would have covered Robert Paul Champagne openly talking to the world, asking for black guys just out of prison who need someone to punch, piss on, and he's just like, hey, I'm kinky. This is what I want, and he's putting it out into the world. Yeah, no one else would be like, oh no, breaches, broadcasting, all that kind of stuff. No, podcasts are just like, maybe just do this.
It's like the Wild
right
West.
People do
it's
it.
Just it's the last kind of because even internet stuff like social media is like rampantly censored now. This is like one of the last mediums where you can just be like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can talk about whatever the hell I want. Yeah, like it doesn't matter. And even YouTube stuff, like heavily censored now. Shit's getting taken off all the time.
It's only going to get worse over time. Yeah, to the point where some new YouTube will come out.
Yeah. Whereas this, I don't know how you'll ever really control this. There's so many different companies that do it all. There's no big monopoly. Yeah. Apple's been hugely kind of anti fucking with people's privacy, so they're never gonna. That's it's Joe Rogan mentioned that the other day. It's why their map software sucks so much compared to Google, because they don't take any of your information, so they don't know they don't know where.
They're not listening to everything you say.
Yeah,
this traffic's bad. Google's telling people the traffic's bad.
Yeah. So like I think podcasting's going to be quite free for quite a while. I can't think of what's going to come in and kind of like
because you go like YouTube,
sterilize it.
Right, because we're on YouTube. I thought about this briefly earlier today, along the same lines, and it was like, okay, if if we weren't allowed to be on YouTube anymore, it's a stupid, ridiculous thing to think.
Yeah.
But if, for whatever reason, you go like, oh, there's loads of other video stuff we could go on, but it wouldn't be as public. It would be kind of more underground because it's just not as popular thing. But yeah, the audio side of it, you go, no, this is. And the audio is exactly the same as the video.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the audio being taken away.
No.
Because it does seem pretty free.
Yeah.
And it just seems great. It just seems like, it seems good. And again, removing the idea of there's a certain way to do something. I mean, I was watching, there was the Women's World Cup was recently, the US won.
Yeah.
And I saw an article. I find all my articles on social media sites. That's the only thing I use them for, really, and promoting the podcast. And one of the articles I said was the Women's World Cup brought in more viewers than the Men's World Cup by like 4 times the amount. And I was like, what? That's insane.
No.
Look into it a little bit more, and then they go, okay, we're just America. You go, okay. Americans probably didn't watch much World Cup soccer.
Yeah.
And then you go, and they're actually basing this off of Nielsen boxes, which are like a weird American... I only know about it through shows making fun of Nielsen boxes.
Yeah.
And it's just some people write in and request to have a Nielsen box, which monitors everything that you watch and everything what time you're watching it and sends it off to somebody.
Yeah.
So you have to be... They're still using Nielsen boxes, which were used in the 70s.
Yeah.
And it's still being used today, and that's what they're basing their broadcasting statistics off of. And you go like, okay, if you're still working on 70s technology and 70s audiences, because I can't imagine, even if they offered you some money off for having a Nielsen box, which is probably how they work, right? You get free cable if we can just monitor all the cable that you watch. People who do that aren't going to be the people who answer polls aren't necessarily representative of people. Is the point.
Yeah.
And you go like, well, if you're still doing that, then television is just this weird place. And then you've got the same thing with radio, and then it gets bigger and bigger.
The whole theory's broken anyway, because America got to the finals. So, like, America's going to keep watching. Like, if the US I don't know what happened in the Men's World Cup, but if the US got knocked out, I imagine but it's not a huge kind of market for football.
Yeah,
most of them will have stopped watching.
Yeah.
Like now, if the women's team got knocked out pretty early, probably same.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched World Cup for a long time. I don't know whether America's gotten very far in it at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just the thing that they're basing this off of Nielsen boxes. It's just like how... Family Guy made fun of you in 2003.
Yeah.
Or whenever it was.
It's antiquated.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was antiquated then. Now it's just... Like, it's an estimate. It's like, well, that's it. It's a poll. It's taking like a small sample and using that to predict what everyone's done.
And it's just how strange it is that that's what television is. And you think there's so many weird things about television. And then you just go, the further away you get to it, and podcasts been done by the right people, not necessarily us, but the good people, you go like, oh, this something beautiful can still be done. And there was this evidence to me in that. And I was like, that gave me a little bit of inspiration to run with.
Something to be fucking do.